Rumour has it that Netflix are on the prowl to acquire ROKU and add them into their portfolio as they try to consolidate and build from a bit of a mess which they found themselves in. But I'm going to have a look at what's happened or happening to the current stock price of ROKU. Obviously, the rumours are going to add some volatility into the price, but I want to see where it's been and where it could potentially be going to, and throw in some trade ideas for you as well. So with that, let's get on with the analysis. We can see from the weekly line chart how ROKU benefited from the COVID lockdown period, moving up to highs nearly at $500. Then it formed that lovely double top pattern, and the rules of technical analysis suggest that you take the middle part of the double top pattern to the top there and then project that price move down to give you a potential target, and we did have one around the early $100. It made that and broke through there even further to get down to recent lows around $73, which is a near 85% fall in the stock price. So really not looking good in the longer term for ROKU, and we can see a lot of the volume really at the moment is all around that $130 to sort of $60-70 area. So picture at the moment very bearish. Now we are going to get a bit of a bounce on the open from pre-market, and that'll probably trigger that $85 entry there using the 4-line break chart to spot those reversals. So if you are bullish, you might get an entry in the shorter term there, take advantage of the rumour of Netflix getting involved. A bit more conservative, then $111 is your next potential entry point. Now onto the daily Heikin-Ashi chart. Our signals at the bottom both bearish, volatility above its longer term average around 120% per annum, normally trades around the late 80s. We can see from the price that we've got a long-term probability power box score of 88.4%, suggesting from these levels it's got a good likelihood of reversing on up. But remember, we tie that in with the red dashed institutional power zones, which are good support resistance areas, and they are currently forming quite nicely as possibly an area that the price is going to form and consolidate in, especially with the Netflix news. Could bounce from there, but the trend line is solid red, that shaded area coming down here, so that negates the trade at the moment. We'll wait until that flips. So at the moment, all still very bearish. And on the Renko chart for shorter term action, I've used a $3 block size. All our signals at the bottom are bearish. You can see the trend is nicely down. We've got a sell signal outside the 2-line pink box breakout set up, and for potential targets to the upside, if it can reverse around from here, $169, $170, then the early to mid 200s, and then if it can really start pushing onwards up into the early 300s. And downside, well, there's not much more left to go. Probably next area of real support is about $14-15. So some option trade ideas courtesy of Broker First Trading there, options play wizard, scenario building tool. Now ROKU, as we know, trend everything pretty bearish at the moment, but the light at the tunnel at the moment is Netflix buying them. So if you are bullish and you think they can turn around, first trade up there is an outright call. Now I've put $10,000 of hypothetical money into the pot here. Now I've gone for a September expiry 95 strike. So if we think we can get into the 120, 130 areas, then it's a pretty decent trade. $720 that's going to cost you. Now if we play around with the scenario and the price does get up to $132, that's a 400% plus return, nearly $3,000 of profit. So if you think there's a turnaround there, then the call is a nice looking trade. Still bearish, then we've got an August 75 strike, almost at the money put there, It's going to cost $1,400, so reasonably expensive, but if the price does get down into 23, 24, and we saw from the charts that $15 isn't out of the question, $25, then that's a 250% return and a $3,500 profit. So also very nice trade, and for something different, something if you don't think the price is going to be moving around quite as much and is still bearish, we've got this 45.75 put strike vertical spread trade costing just over $1,100. And we look at the details of that, we can see max reward is $1,800, max risk $1,700, so a nice capped trade for you there, 66 days to expiry. And again, remember the cap numbers are fixed, so that's 155% return, $1,800 profit on your investment. So some trade ideas for you there. So in terms of a score then, based purely off the technical analysis, it's bearish all round. Probability power score giving us a potential upside move with a high probability of 88.4%, and really the technicals might be overruled here by the rumours of the Netflix potential takeover here, so that might give you some entries to the upside. $85 and $111 on the 4-line break chart up there, and if things can recover, Netflix are doing what they say, then you might see the price moving on up. And targets wise, 11.66 and 18.75 times, a very good risk return there for that trade. Downside also not too bad, 2.66 and 3.66 to 1. But overall, based purely off the technicals at the moment, it's a bearish situation, but like I say, beware. So ROKU not looking too great technically, but we know fundamentally there's the rumours from Netflix to purchase and buy them out. Can that turn their fortunes around? Can it turn Netflix's fortunes around? Well, let me know in those comments below. Love to hear from you. Let me know where you think they are heading next. And if you've liked today's video, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell buttons. And all that's left for me to say is thanks for watching. Good luck with the trading. I'll see you in the next video.